AfriSol presents Nickel Millionaire 2.0, where your dreams of becoming a millionaire can come true, not once, but twice. In the first 2 months, one lucky AfriSol subscriber will win a cool $1 million. Another lucky winner will take home another $1 million just 2 months after that. But wait, there's more. We've got loads of cash prizes to be won every week. Simply buy a minimum of $10 in credit or data. So the more you buy, the better your chances of hitting the jackpot. Nickel Millionaire 2.0. Join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. live on GRTS. AfriSol, creating millionaires, changing lives.
Welcome to the future of transportation in the Gambia. The Bertel Harding Highway, a 22-kilometer double carriageway, is set to revolutionize travel and connectivity in our beloved country. For pedestrians, safety begins at the crossing. Use designated pedestrian crossings marked with patterned reflective signs known as cat eyes to ensure visibility and safety. Communities living along the highway must adapt to new safety measures.
Hello and welcome to the Saturday Newsroom. We broadcasting from studios in Kanifing along the OIC Road. I am Maria Madem and many thanks for joining us. Coming up, water stress and animal intrusion among factors hindering Baka women gardeners' productivity. A delegation from leading Turkish media agency visits Star TV. In North Bank region, residents are up against deforestation and climate change with tree nursery planting initiative. And the Banjul City Council refutes allegations of squandering EU funds. On international news, South Korea says military jet misdropped bombs injuring civilians. Israeli forces demolish more homes in Nur Sam's refugee camp, leaving dozens homeless. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Many thanks for joining us. Let's now take a look at the news in detail. Now, water wars and animal encroachment are some of the existential challenges of women horticultural gardeners in the coastal community of Bakau. The women said water shortage and lack of good fencing have remained stumbling block in their efforts to generate income and feed their families through gardening. Hadi Chaju reports.
The Bakau women vegetable growers said their challenges have persisted for many years, militating against their efforts to generate decent income from their toil. The challenges that the women said need urgent attention from the relevant authorities include storage facility, a market for their produce, boreholes and fencing. The PRO of Baka Women's Garden, Da Sise, who has been working as a gardener for 3 decades, said they grow cabbage, onions, garden egg, among others. Da, who began gardening when she was much younger to support her family, appealed to the government to help them with a storage facility to minimize post-harvest losses.
Part
of our challenges we are facing here is the lack of a storage facility for our vegetables to ensure they are stored for a long time. I am calling on the government to come to our aid.
The Sise acknowledged that the Ministry of Agriculture normally helps them with manure, but their interventions are not enough for all the 525 women gardeners. Another gardener, Jami Drame, she depends on gardening to support her family.
This is where I earn income to feed my family and pay my children's school bills. So if gardening is not going on as expected, it will not be good for me.
Drame opined that the Department of Agriculture should look into the water issue at the Bakau Garden because the people of the coastal community do not have space for farming. Other women gardeners along the Mile 7 road spend significant time guarding their unfenced gardens, which are vulnerable to stray animals. Fatou Saidi, another gardener, said stray animals had been causing chaos due to a lack of proper garden fences.
I urge
the relevant authorities to help us. We face a lot of challenges here. If you look at the situation in the garden, there is no proper fencing that can protect our crops from the animals. This is another concern for us.
Maria Majajo records similar challenges, calling on the government to address their constraints. As they continue to engage in horticultural activities, these women renew their appeal to the relevant authorities to assist them in harnessing production potentials for more yields. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Hadijajo.
And residents of the North Bank region have taken decisive action to combat the effects of deforestation and climate change by establishing a tree nursery association. The association was conceived and formed to primarily support community forests with much-needed seedlings. More in this report. The devastating impact of climate change continues to be felt across the globe. The Gambia is also in the front line of climate crisis, and the country remains vulnerable to extreme weather events such as flash floods and rising sea level. A major causative factor of these extreme climate phenomena in the Gambia is deforestation, as trees are essential in regulating the climate. The North Bank Tree Nursery Association has been leading the charge in addressing these issues by cultivating over 20 tree species, including moringa, kazoo, mahogany, mango, papaya, and guava. According to the Secretary General of the association, Lang Conte, the seedlings are distributed for free to communities in the region, noting that this endeavor is very important for them because of the serious deforestation the region is facing. He mentioned that they started planting these seedlings 2 years ago, and so far they have distributed over 500 seedlings to different community forests and to individuals with a plan to expand.
Because we know we are facing deforestation in North Bank here. That's why we plant trees, to replant them in the farms, in the forest parks, and at homes.
What have you done so far?
We've done a lot because we've supplied almost 500, plants to community forests in Berakochi, Kontakunda, Dogo, Njabakunda here, even in many other fields here.
Thank you.
Ramatulaiba, president of the National Farmers Platform for North Bank, said the importance of the initiative is not only restoring lost forest cover, but also in mitigating climate change to ensure sufficient rainfall for the residents in the region.
We formed this association to restore our lost forests and address the effects of climate change in the region, because we noticed the felling of trees is causing a lot of challenges ranging from decreased rainfall to drought.
The initiative prioritizes sustainability by not only supplying the community forests but also encouraging individuals to plant trees in their homes. Through trainings on compost making, food processing, and business management, with support from FAO, the National Farmers Platform, and FFF, members of the community are now witnessing positive impact of the initiative as they work towards meeting the growing demand for the trees in the region. Despite the success registered so far, the association is seeking for more support from government and other entities to realize their goals of fighting the effects of climate change in the country. Community forestry management is one of the most effective and inclusive ways to protect, manage, preserve and restore forest. Maria Madem, reporting for Star TV News. Now moving on, a delegation from the Albera Group's media arm, a leading media agency in Turkey, visited Star TV earlier this week. This visit to the Star TV by the delegation from Albera's Yeni Safak international media outlet has been described as another step closer in forging a collaborative relationship between the two media powerhouses. More in this report by Model Baji.
Yeni Safak's news director, Omer Kalba, led the delegation to Star TV, where they were received by CEO Alpha Karaga and Managing Director Mr. Kauso Baji. The visit signals a commitment to fostering stronger ties between the Gambian and the Turkish media, with special emphasis on knowledge sharing and empowering young journalists. The ensuing discussion centered on possibilities of content sharing, laying one of the building blocks for a dynamic and mutually beneficial relationship. The delegation was conducted on a tour of the Star TV and radio studios. The Yanisafis news director, Umar Kalblan, drawing parallels between Star FM and TV's operational system and that of Yanisafes International, recognizing the significant potentials for synergy. These observations underscores the shared commitment to quality journalism and innovative media practices.
Some media collaborations, in particular, maybe helping each other out with content, so we can focus more on content from the Gambia, and maybe we could also help share some news from Turkey. So the first step would be some collaboration in terms of that content level. And just visiting the headquarters here today, it seems like there's a very good team, a very competent team. There's a really young, dynamic team here. And it's not so different from the system we have in place. Of course, the way newsrooms work are very similar. So perhaps there's a lot of potential for collaboration.
Star TV's managing director, Kausu Baji, emphasized the importance of networking and partnership in media development.
Receiving Albarka Group, the media team of the Albarka Group today, means we are on the right track because one, we would want to learn more from them considering the media space in Turkey vis-a-vis the Gambia. We started television broadcasting of private media house or private television media house in the Gambia in 2017. They have been into media houses for decades. We are just a decade plus. So therefore, we need to learn more from them. But like they alluded, it's all about commitment and dedication. But they are most welcome, and more specifically when it comes to Star FM and TV. We had an administration that has an open door policy. You don't need that bureaucratic appointment to meet neither the CEO nor the chairman.
Baji further reaffirmed Star FM and TV's unwavering commitment to effective service delivery, ensuring that the Gambian populace receive accurate and timely information.
To production, we don't have a complexity as per what to provide. And then also understanding the investment that they have already made through the Albarka Group in the Gambia so far. We know we had a bigger room to participate in national development, which they have actually come to join us, because media is all about 4 cardinal principles: entertain, educate, inform, and these are things that we always worked on. So when it comes to information dissemination, Star FM and TV will always...
This immense experience allowed for a deeper understanding of Star FM and TV's infrastructure and workflow, solidifying the foundation for further collaboration. The delegation later had a meeting with the chairman of Star Media Group, Haji Banigo Sisoho, and the chief executive officer of Star FM, Alpha Karaga. Both showed enthusiasm to partner with Yanis Safek. The potential partnership between Star FM and TV and Yanis Safek represents a significant step towards strengthening media relations between the Gambia and Turkey by focusing on knowledge sharing and empowering young journalists. This collaboration promises to elevate the quality of journalism in the Gambia and provide a platform for greater cultural and informational exchange. For Star TV, I am Mutu El Baji.
Now, the Banjul City Council has dismissed as untrue allegations that the council misappropriated the EU money disbursed to it under the Banjul-Austin City Partnership. The Banjul Mayor, Rohim Malik Law, on Tuesday addressed a press conference in an apparent attempt to set the record straight. Amadou Elbaji attended the conference and he now reports.
The Banjul Mayor addressed claims made by Austin City Councillor Maxim Dogt, emphasizing that all funds were managed transparently and in accordance with the EU guidelines. Austin City Councillor Maxim Dogt claimed that the funds allocated to the Banjul City Council for the implementation of the Banjul and Austin project were not invested as intended. Mayor Law informed journalists that she had not stolen any funds and was not involved in handling any finances, stating that all funds were managed by the EU.
They have to put the request, send it to them, and then they will say yes to join us. If it is no, then it is a no. So where can we misuse anything? The project said even my councillors were supposed to go for us to show them how we value the cooperation and the partnership. So with all that, that's not enough. This is why I sat in my quiet moment and said, okay, they think we don't deserve it. Or he think, let me say he, Maxim, Doc think we don't deserve it. We have to go back to our old computers, our old bicycles, our old ambulances, which we appreciate at that time. But remember, the world is moving. We cannot be there receiving only old computers and old bicycles and old fogajais. No, I have also seen how my colleagues are benefiting from the
The Banjul mayor told reporters that the council operated with complete integrity throughout the partnership. Mayor Law hinted that Councillor Doc's allegations were politically motivated. She further criticized Councillor Doc's passive stance on the city's needs, stating Councillor Doc believes the city of Banjul only deserves all materials.
Maxim Doc, in his mind, thought that Banjul does not deserve this. He thought Banjul does not deserve it. What we deserve is to have all computers, all use clothes, all ambulances. This is what we deserved. So when I came as a mayor, and I was a councillor in Sweden, so I understand how things work. I said, no, this is not what we want. We want to go and have higher projects. This is what Banjul deserve. So we are not the one in charge.
The Banjul-Austin City Partnership, funded by the European Union, was designed to foster collaboration and development between the two cities. The partnership encompasses various initiatives tailored to improve infrastructure, enhance public services, and promote sustainable development in Banjul. The mayor of Banjul emphasized the importance of transparency and accountability in managing public funds and reiterated her commitment to upholding the highest standards of governance. Mayor Law said she will be receptive to any legislative scrutiny of the council's financial activities, but condemned what she perceived as baseless accusations.
So I cannot just sit down and allow my institution to the image of my institution to be tarnished. No. When we have not seen anything or we have not done anything wrong, and I put an underline on this, that we have not done anything wrong, enough is enough.
Mayor Law's firm stance suggests that she is prepared to defend the council's handling of European Union funds and to address any concerns raised by the public or any other officials. For Star TV, I am Motu Elbaji.
Now from the story, we'll take a short commercial break and we'll return the news. Continue. Stay tuned.
We've got fantastic new social media bundles just for you.
Stay connected with your favorite platforms like WhatsApp, Viber, X, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok with our new social media bundles. You can now get 50 megabytes for $10 is valid for 1 day.
Enjoy 400 megabytes for $40, valid for 7 days.
Get a massive 1,200 megabytes for $100 only, valid for 7 days.
Simply dial *120# and press 3 to pick the social media bundle that suits you best.
I'm out of credit again.
AfriCell can hook you up with their Lebalma service. You can borrow credit up to 600 right when you need it.
Let me try this. So it's *232#. That's too easy.
Out of credit? AfriCell's got your back. Anytime, anywhere.
Welcome to the future of transportation in the Gambia. The Bertel Harding Highway, a 22-kilometer double carriageway, is set to revolutionize travel and connectivity in our beloved country. For pedestrians, safety begins at the crossing. Use designated pedestrian crossings marked with patterned reflective signs known as cat eyes to ensure visibility and safety. Communities living along the highway must adapt to new safety measures.
Welcome back after the short commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is the Star TV newsroom and we're broadcasting from studios here in Kanifing. I am Maria Madem and many thanks for joining us. Let's now give attention to some international news. Now, at least 15 people have been injured after 2 South Korean fighter jets accidentally dropped air bombs outside a training range during live fire drill with U.S. forces. The Defense Ministry said initial findings indicated the incident was caused by a pilot inputting incorrect bombing coordinates. Azera's Rob McBride reports from Seoul, South Korea.
The South Korean Air Force says 2 of its fighter jets dropped 8 bombs outside the designated firing range, resulting in the damage and casualties. A number of bases and training areas are located in the mountainous Gyeonggi province near the demilitarized zone border with North Korea. They've provoked protests from local communities, unhappy about living in close proximity to live fire exercises.
첫째, 더 이상
I demand concrete measures be taken to prevent any recurrence of civilian casualties. Until adequate and acceptable safety measures are implemented, I call for an immediate suspension of all military training activities.
This drill is linked to the annual Freedom Shield exercises between US and South Korean forces due to start next week.
What we are doing right now is building our readiness, our capability, and our interoperability to ensure that we can defend the Republic of Korea against any threat.
The drills come at a time of heightened tensions with North Korea, which says they're a prelude to war, and coincide with the arrival of the US aircraft carrier Carl Vinson in Korean waters, condemned by Kim Yo-jong, the influential sister of North Korea's leader, as part of a policy of confrontation by the US. There's also a growing uncertainty about Washington's position on its military presence on the peninsula. In his first term, President Donald Trump cancelled the joint drills and has demanded South Korea pays more for the soldiers based here. Asked about the future of these exercises, the Joint Military Command has responded, "Ask the White House." Rob McBride, Al Jazeera, Seoul.
Now, the Israeli army has issued new demolition orders against more homes in the North Shams refugee camps in the northern occupied West Bank. Earlier this week, the Israeli army destroyed 11 houses in the camp. Some people managed to briefly visit their homes after they'd been forced to leave home. Al Jazeera's Mohammed Haji reports.
These displaced Palestinians are trying to catch a glimpse of the homes they were expelled from last month. But they were chased away by the Israeli military. One of them is Qasim Abu Saris. His home is among the 17 houses the Israeli army says it will demolish soon.
I received a call 30 minutes ago that the house will be demolished. So I came here with my family to try and get some of our belongings. What can I say now?
Hours later, some families, including Qasim's, managed to enter the camp, a much different sight than what they had left behind. The Israeli army has laid a siege on the Nur Shams refugee camp since mid-February and demolished 11 houses earlier this week, including Khalid Jabali's house. He was expecting the demolition, but says nothing prepared him for this moment.
They're not only demolishing our homes, but destroying us and our dreams. We didn't have fighters inside, but they still demolished our house. They're destroying us.
Palestinians say the destruction is strategic, aims to change the landscape of the refugee camp known for its tight alleyways. This is a drone shot from the Nur Shams refugee camp. These homes highlighted have now been demolished. More homes are expected to be destroyed in the coming days. Earlier, a car could barely drive through this narrow alleyway. But with these homes destroyed, the street will now be wider. Palestinians believe this will allow Israeli forces to raid the camp more freely in the future. Instead of safety and security, home for many now resembles danger and loss.
كان هذا دار سيدي هناك محطم كله كان هذا ذكرياتي كلها.
Families are carrying all they can from their homes that might not be there the next time they're allowed back. Initially built for Palestinians to seek temporary shelter, the Nur Shams refugee camp has existed for more than 7 decades. Generations have dreamt to return to their homes in what is now Israel, but they now find themselves kicked out from the very place they sought refuge in. Mohammed Haji, Al Jazeera.
Now, Panama's President Jose Raul Mulino has called Donald Trump a liar in an angry response to the U.S. president's claim that he will take back the Panama Canal. Trump says Panama has violated the terms of the treaty and is allowing China and other countries to control the U.S. bullet waterway. Al Jazeera's Latin American editor Luciana Newman reports from Santiago, Chile.
The Panama Canal is again at the center of rapidly deteriorating ties between the United States and one of its closest regional allies, following President Donald Trump's renewed promise to take back the interoceanic waterway.
To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it.
Panama's President Jose Raul Mulino responded harshly, calling Trump a liar. Again, President Trump is lying, he wrote. The Panama Canal is not in the process of being recovered. It is Panamanian and will remain Panamanian. This week, BlackRock, a U.S. multinational company, announced they'd struck a deal to buy 2 key ports in the Panama Canal that had been run by a Chinese company. Panama had hoped that this would counter President Trump's allegations that the Chinese Communist Party had strategic control of the world's second-largest waterway. Instead, the U.S. president is insisting more than ever that Panama has broken the terms of the Panama Canal Treaty, and therefore the U.S. has a right to take it back. China's foreign ministry spokesperson has responded with unusual speed, denying Trump's assertions and criticizing the U.S. for pressuring Panama.
We oppose the abuse of coercion and pressure in international economic and trade relations.
Elsewhere, Trump's most energetic threats to date to take back the Panama Canal have not gone unnoticed. In Chile, visiting German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier said that he did not share Trump's vision of a new world order, while Chile's president said he had called his Panamanian counterpart to convey solidarity and concern. Both leaders expressed their unwavering support for Ukraine and criticized the U.S. administration in no uncertain terms. Alluding to the U.S. president, Steinmeier warned against those who, quote, want to replace international law with the law of he who is the strongest. But President Trump seems willing to make good on his vow to take back the Panama Canal, no matter how unseemly it may be for much of the rest of the world. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera, Santiago.
Now, I'm afraid our story brings us to the end of this news bulletin, but before we take a leave of you, a quick reminder of the main headlines. Water stress and animal intrusion among factors hindering Baka women gardeners' productivity. A delegation from a leading Turkish media agency visits Star TV. In North Bank region, residents are up against deforestation and climate change with tree nursery planting initiative. And the Baguio City Council refutes allegations of squandering EU funds. On international news, South Korea says military jet misdropped bombs injuring civilians. Israeli forces demolish more homes in Nur Shams refugee camp, leaving dozens homeless. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. To join us tomorrow for another bulletin. But in the meantime, we enjoy the rest of our programs and have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching.
خصوصا على سيد الرسل وخاتم الأنبياء وعلى آله الأزكياء وأصحابه الأتقياء. أما بعد.